Hi everyone, Paige Abbott here. Today I'm going to talk about the problem with the geographical cure. Stay tuned. So the geographical cure. I can't tell you how many times I've had people say they just want to get in their car and keep driving or start running across a field and never look back. On a more serious note, I've had a lot of people also say they're going to relocate, they're going to move to a new home, they're going to move to a new city, they're going to move to a new country, that this is going to be their solution to whatever problems are going on within. Now, some people are quite clear that that's their plan, that they're trying to use that move for a solution to whatever's going on within. I specialize in addiction counseling, so a lot of my clients, they're trying to run away from the addiction part of themselves that's created a lot of harm and impact in their daily lives. So they're hoping that in shifting the environment, the behavior or the problems that they're experiencing will improve. There's a little bit of rationale there, I suppose, in that people are often basing it on when they relocate to a different environment, even temporarily. So when they go on a holiday or when they go to visit a family member, they may notice that the problem behavior shifts. And so that becomes the rationale for people thinking if they make that a permanent move, that will be a permanent change. However, the timings here are quite critical because that temporary change is usually due to a number of different factors that won't continue to be present when people stay somewhere permanently. So for those who are going to visit somebody, that's a significant change that you can't really replicate in a permanent move. So being around different people than you normally are, most people are more guarded about the behavior or the problems that they're experiencing. So they may notice a decline in the behavior, but often what they'll notice is that when they return back home, that behavior spikes again and increases because there's been this buildup of pressure and energy that didn't have that familiar outlet for release. So even though short term, it seems like there was some benefit there, really longer term, it does nothing to change the fundamental problem. People may believe that in that environmental or geographical change, they're going to be different. They're in a new place, so they're exposed to different things. Yeah, I guess novelty can produce some changes, of course. We grow as people with new experiences, but one of my favorite quotes is, "Wherever you go, there you are." So as much as we may be somewhat influenced by our environment, we might learn new things, we might take on new activities, we might meet new people. If we're approaching all of that with the same mindset and the same issues that plagued us in our past location, we're going to gravitate towards activities and people who are very similar to the activities and people that you're trying to leave behind. So what's probably a more reasoned and helpful approach if you are considering moving, because let's face it, people do move. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen for you, but the motivation for it needs to be different than this is going to be the solution to my problems. A move needs to be very well considered, it needs to be well planned, and it needs to be well timed. And ideally it would happen once you have found some stability in your mental health and in your recovery. Thinking that a move will be the sole determining factor at helping you maintain those changes or create those changes that you're hoping to have, I think is going to be a setup for disappointment and further shame. Now, let's take the example of someone who goes away to a different location for residential treatment. So they're going to specifically deal with their addiction recovery. while they're there, maybe they participate in some local meetings. So they start to build a recovery community. They're familiar with the environment. They start to develop some supports in that environment. Now, in that case, I have had clients decide that they are going to relocate to be around wherever they went to treatment because of the recovery relationships that they developed during that time. That's a very different motivation than saying, I'm going to pluck myself from one city to another without knowing anybody, without having a recovery or a mental health community in place, and thinking that that change alone is going to precipitate change. If you're moving and there's some built-in supports, there's some built-in resilience that can help you, then again, the motivation is going to be quite different. So a geographical cure alone is likely not going to produce the change that you're hoping for, especially long term, because if you can't make those changes now and here, wherever you are, it's very unlikely that a new environment, especially after the stress of relocating, there might be some financial stress from the move. You may have difficulty securing the same type of employment that you left behind. All of that puts extra stress on the system, which can also be a risk factor for continued issues with addiction or other mental health symptoms. So it's not that I'm saying don't ever move, don't ever plan transitions, but what I am saying is plan them. Be mindful of your motivation behind them and see where you're at right now. Are you trying to run away from something, particularly yourself? If so, might be better to stay put for the next while and keep working on that. Get more comfortable being with you so that you can be a companion to yourself wherever you go, not trying to run away from yourself in a new location. A new environment, while environments and places can certainly be triggers, there's a lot of other things that are triggers for addiction. And so you need to be aware and dealing with what those are when you move to a new location. And ideally, if you already have some healthy supports and connections and activities that you can step into in that new place, all the better, because that will help you carry forward whatever recovery momentum you are starting to build at the previous location. So don't run away from yourself is the long and the short of it. It's important to get to know yourself, to face these issues and these challenges and these triggers that have plagued you. That really is the only way out. Another good quote for personal development is, the only way out is through. The geographical cure is trying to circumvent that, to take a shortcut around that, and it's just not going to be effective. I hope that you will go through, as tough and as challenging as that is. It's also incredibly rich and rewarding in terms of the relationship with yourself and the quality of life that you can get in doing that. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to my next video on whatever topic kind of strikes me next. If you have any ideas of what you'd like a video topic to be, please do comment below, and feel free to like and share this video with anyone that you think it might be helpful for. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.